Unraveling the Final Act. The cast and crew of the Thespian Society arrived at the remote theater retreat deep in the woods. The retreat was the perfect setting for their latest production, a mystery play called Murder at the Masquerade. As soon as they settled in, strange things began to happen. The props went missing, the set was vandalized, and one of the actors received a threatening note. Despite these incidents, the group pressed on, determined to put on the best performance of their careers. Days turned into nights, and the tensions in the group rose with each passing moment. Some of the actors began to suspect that one of their own was responsible for the mishaps, while others believed that an outsider was behind it all. As the final dress rehearsal approached, the cast and crew worked tirelessly to perfect their performances. But just as they were about to begin, the lights went out, and a scream echoed through the dark theater. When the lights came back on, one of the actors lay motionless on the stage. Detective James was called in to investigate the murder. He questioned each member of the group, looking for any signs of guilt or deception. But everyone had a solid alibi, and no one saw anything out of the ordinary. Despite the lack of leads, Detective James refused to give up. He dug deeper into the actors' pasts and found that each one of them had a motive for murder. The stage manager had a history of alcohol and drug abuse and was under pressure from the other members of the group to shape up. The lead actress was jealous of her co-star's success and was afraid of being upstaged. And the playwright had a personal grudge against the murdered actor, who had criticized his work in the past. With each passing day, the investigation grew more complex. Detective James followed a series of red herrings, each leading him closer to the truth. But just as he thought he was getting closer to solving the case, he was thrown a curveball. One night, as he was reviewing the evidence, he discovered that the theater retreat was built on top of an old abandoned mine, and the murderer was using the mine shaft to move about undetected. Detective James raced back to the theater where the final act of the play was about to begin. The audience was on the edge of their seats, eager to see how the mystery would play out. But what they didn't know was that the murderer was among them, hiding in plain sight. As the play reached its climax, Detective James slowly pieced together the evidence and realized the shocking truth. The murderer wasn't one of the actors, but the director of the play. He had been orchestrating the entire production, using it as a cover to hide his crimes. The dramatic twist, the director was revealed to be the mastermind behind a string of murders that had taken place in the area. He had been using the theater retreat as a base of operations, using the play to divert suspicion away from himself. The final act of the play reached its conclusion, and the murderer was brought to justice. The members of the theater group breathed a sigh of relief, grateful to have solved the mystery and put the past behind them. As they packed up their things and headed back home, they couldn't help but think about the journey they had been on. They had faced challenges, overcame obstacles, and bonded as a group. And most importantly, they had put on a performance that would be remembered for years to come.